Right, take us home with some most valuable NBA franchises in
this is not
2017.
that surprising. Forbes released their list of the most valuable franchises in the NBA. Most people are going to be like, I don't understand the difference between value and why they're bad and why they're good. It has nothing to do with how good they are. It has to do with the market that they play in, how much advertising dollars can be poured in, and what the TV deal looks like. So you can roll your eyes all you want. Yes, the Knicks are the most valuable franchise in the NBA. And the Lakers are a close second. And at any point, that could always flip-flop between the Lakers and the Knicks. They will always be the two most valuable franchises. If the Knicks are doing it now, finishing seasons 30 and 52, just imagine in 67 years when they actually win like 48 games. Just imagine. It's because they had the new MSG, which is the TV network. It's also the Madison Square Garden network. They share the same name. Had a bunch of money poured in to the Knicks recently. So we have a couple graphics because there's some other teams worth noting. So the Rockets and the Clippers are worth a pretty penny, if you will. The Rockets really rising up there, especially with the rise of James Harden, having a product in Houston that a couple people have claimed is the worst city in the country, but just did host the Super Bowl. Such a mean thing to say. And the Clippers, the most interesting about the Clippers, Francis, is there's an article about 15 years ago on why the Clippers were the least valuable franchise in all of world sports.
Interesting.
And that was because at the time, Donald Sterling didn't care about making them better. He was just like, well, I bought them for this amount. They're worth more now. Why would I do anything?
Yeah, and it was good to see how Donald Sterling's character just kind of continued to be more and more highlighted as the biggest piece of shit to have ever been part of any sort of sports franchise.
Whoa.
One of.
There's like a good 7 people at that dinner table.
You're right. He's definitely invited.
Oh, he's at the table.
He's got a napkin.
But he's not at the head of the table.
Yeah, he's a scumbag. But
Jerry Sandusky might be at the head of the table.
But it's interesting. How much do you account for the Clippers making their way back up to being valuable with the Lakers' demise from no longer being the best NBA team?
There's a couple things that went very right for the Clippers. Blake Griffin, he hasn't translated into like playoff wins, but he gave you something to go fill the seats for. When Blake Griffin first entered the league, man, he jumped out the goddamn building. I use this phrase all the time because players who have that ability can fill seats. And I mean, he dunked over Ikea, and that was not that great and everything in the dunk contest, but it became Lob City, right? So then you add in guys like Doc Rivers and Chris Paul, and all of a sudden you start to win and you start to compete and you can contend, not for a championship still, as the Clippers can't do that now, but just the fact of making the playoffs consistently, always putting yourself in a position to play in the second season. And yes, the Lakers having a period where they fell definitely all added to the fact that they're good. They also have Steve Ballmer, who really, really cares about that team. It's rare that you see an owner love basketball as much as people like Mark Cuban and Steve Ballmer do. And if it were up to the public, you'd only want all 30 owners. I think there's actually a couple because there's more than that because of co-owners. All of the owners in the NBA to just generally love the game of basketball. It's not the case a lot of the time.
Yeah.
A lot of the time it's Tuesday, we go buy a basketball team. Honey,
true.
can we get the $1.4 billion from the Swiss account really quick? Transfer that over to me in it's 2 days? 2 days? All right, just give me 2 days. Next card, Francis. We have 2 more teams that you're probably totally unsurprised by.
Nah.
But look how much market, how they approximate the value of market. Like, brand is big. Arena has something to do with it. The Chicago Bulls just have a newer arena than the Celtics, I believe. The market, what you can sell. All of Chicago probably due to Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman and Steve Kerr and Horace Grant, all those guys that were together on those teams. But the 6 championships, you win that many, you become a dynasty, you start to get value. Before the Patriots had Brady and Belichick, they were never a top 10 most valuable franchise. Now they are probably the most valuable NFL franchise.
Yeah, there's something to be said about these teams that, they come from big cities, but that doesn't always translate to a big market. You need to kind of add that winning mentality. Like the Chicago Bulls haven't been the Chicago Bulls that we know for how many years? 10, 15 years, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's still, the idea of them returning to greatness is enough to draw in the audience and give fans those slight reminders, especially the older generation. If they see Jimmy Butler do something or they see Derrick Rose light up the building, they're like, man, that reminds me of the Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan days. And that's why they're always going to be attracted to watching it, because when you've tasted the greatness, you tell everyone about it and you kind of get on board with it could happen again. We maybe go back and we continue to fill the seats because that's why sports fans love it. They love to be reminded of the greatness that they've seen.
Right.
Manchester United may be going through one of the biggest droughts in regards to their Premier League history. It's not going to stop the fans turning up to try and see them try to get back into that area because they, much like the Chicago Bulls and a lot of the teams we mentioned, they're notable. They're a known franchise that's always going to have people turning up to see if they can be reminded of that greatness or see greatness come to fruition again.
Number 23 Jordan Bulls jerseys still sell.
Oh, of course they do.
Still sell. They're still bought. If I was a Bulls fan, I would never let that go. When people would be like, oh, what are you doing here? Is it because of Michael Jordan? It's probably because of Michael Jordan. I would just be really smug about it, too. I'd be like, is it the 6th championship? Are you coming to the United Center? Because the banner, six of them?
Very true.
Yeah?
And the Celtics, I think, are not as impactful as Michael Jordan, but it's the fact is that team has always been known for their heart, like being known as part of the heart of Boston, right? Like they're just a team that really encompassed the passion,
Magic.
And the rivalries.
Jordan. So right before Jordan was Bird and Magic every single year, Lakers or Celtics, and before that, Bill Russell, who just won 12 championships.
And then in more recent terms, they were reminded of the fact that they could still accomplish that greatness when you have Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Rajon Rondo delivering them back to that.
That's what definitely helped, was the extra championship in the late 2009, Kobe by himself won 9-10, so it must have been 2008, because they went back-to-back. The Lakers won 2. So it was 2008 when they got together with Doc and KG and Pierce. That definitely helped, because it was a nice little resurgence for Boston fans, and it was fun, man. KG and the Celtics was a fun team. Last card, a little bit surprising, is... well, not really. It's
Julius Randle worth $3 billion.
Look at the market for Golden State now. That to me might diminish, though. I mean, and I say that in 5 years, I don't think the Golden State Warriors are like the 4th most valuable. Well, maybe it depends on how many rings they win. So in 10 years.
Yeah.
Because this is a phase. I don't think the Warriors are going to be a team after the likes of Curry and Thompson and Durant. That they'll be a team that will be able to hold on to this premier status of being a $2.6 billion. Say it. Franchise, right? The Lakers, of course, people get mad at this. They go the Lakers and Knicks haven't been good for so long. You'll see the last card. The Knicks are valued $3.3 billion, which I tweeted out. Does anybody have a spare $3.3 billion? I will go and buy the Knicks, and we can correct the course, everybody. We can do it together. Make the Knicks great again. Just use Donald Trump's platform, and then use the good parts of Obama's platform. You gotta make the Knicks great again.
You gotta talk outside of the basketball correctness, though. You got to just talk simply and make your case. I don't want to hear anything about screens. I don't want to hear anything about pick and rolls. I want to just hear about score. We're going to win points. We're going to score buckets.
It's very simple. I'd get up there my first day. I'd say I believe in a 2-point scoring solution. I also believe in a 3-point scoring solution. I believe in the solution that is the best for both parties, and then I also disagree with some of the solutions that are best for both parties.
You've got my vote.
So if you don't know what I'm alluding to, that is something our president actually said in regards to the Israel-Palestine conflict. So now the Knicks are not nearly as conflicted as that, but it's close.
Yeah. It's not exactly a smooth sailing ship at the moment, is it?
No, but again, anybody. I'll take all Venmo requests. I'll make it public. You can send me money.
Go fund me.
We get to $3.3 billion. We can do it.
Imagine you got to $3.27 billion.
I'd buy the Lakers. No, I take that back. I'd buy 2 teams. I'd buy the Rockets and the Timberwolves.
Can I have one?
Maybe.
All right, I'll make the Timberwolves great.
It's so funny, I gave Francis the Timberwolves. What team would you buy? If you had $3.3 billion, would you buy the Knicks? Probably not. But who would you buy?
Most people are going to buy
the team they want.
Buy the Cavs, and then you can still have championships, but still just spend that extra money on yachts and shit.
See, for me, a lot of it would be location. The thing about owning the Lakers or the Clippers is you do get to live in LA or a New York. So I understand that element of it, and the Bostons too.
You don't want to live in the land?
Cleveland is not. Here's the thing, okay? They have a skyline on their court. I promise you, if you held up to 10,000 Americans not from Cleveland, right, and showed them that skyline, 0. 0 would go, obviously that's the land. Defend the land. Comment below, like, favorite, and subscribe. These teams would sell for more than what they're valued at, by the way. To probably double the price. Comment below, like, favorite, subscribe to all of these wondrous, prolifically entertaining clips, I would hope is the big words I will use today. And make sure to Tune back into Pluto. There's reruns of this show on usually Mondays or Tuesdays. So if the news is severely outdated, you can come back and see that the Knicks are still worth $3.3 billion.